Hello everyone, Mike here for Helm to Tower. The first Descendant has released a new patch. It is patch 1.0.4. It comes with a lot of great quality of life stuff that I thought I'd go over here in detail and read some of the director's comments on why these changes were made. I'm going to be doing more videos on First Descendant here on the channel because I've been enjoying it a lot. Expect some content like this where I'm just covering news and updates for the game. I also plan on, thanks to all of your feedback on the community post I made and put a poll on, want to see some streams, so I'll probably be doing that in the near future. I don't have an exact time frame just yet, but I'll announce that soon. And I definitely plan on streaming some First Descendant as well as some of the other games here on the channel. So again, feel free to subscribe and I'll let you know when all that stuff is coming. But for now, let's get into these patch notes. So first off, the module storage limit has been increased from 1,000 to 1,500, so that's a big bump there, pretty nice stuff. Cooldown for Vulgus strategic outposts has been reduced from 5 minutes to 1 minute. I frankly think that is huge. I know a lot of people, including myself, have found those kind of frustrating to grind and kind of farm, trying to get those amorphous materials for whatever you're going after, characters or weapons or whatever. So that is a huge change. Really appreciate that cooldown reduction. Spawning time between monster respawns has been increased, and the reward amount has been adjusted at the Vulgus strategic outpost. So I don't know what those numbers are yet. I haven't booted up the game, but that's good to hear that they should be making changes to those and improving them for the grind. I know they have more changes planned for a later update. They have mentioned that prior, but so far these here are pretty great. Void fragments will now drop when defeating monsters in special operations. There will be the most void fragment drops at the special operation neutralize void experiment. So that's cool. That's pretty interesting. The void fragments currently you can only get them from doing those void shard activities that are out in the open world areas. So that those are the things where like, hey, you need like Bunny or Sharon, an electric character, to activate these ones, or like a non-attribute character like Valby or Ajax at certain ones. So now you can get those just from doing special operations. I think that is pretty good, and you can just get them from just defeating monsters. You don't have to hope for a reward. I think the reward track at the end of those still needs adjustment, in my opinion, for special operations. Those are kind of those like horde mode style, like round based activities that have some drops. I think those still could use some work, but here you can now get more fragments from other things, and farming from those activities is a good change. I'm glad there's more ways to get those now. And let's see here, last year, using Mark for Arrest, item obtained from special operation will now grant 10 times the usual amount of gold. When Mark for Arrest is used from consumable tab, it will convert from 100,000 gold, and high value Mark for Arrest will convert to 100,000 or 1 million gold, excuse me. So yeah, that's a huge gold bump there from those. I've seen these drop before. Definitely people may have not noticed these, but they're like these little items that can just kind of randomly drop while you're doing special operations, and then you can go into your, like they say, go into your consumable tabs and you can just pop them and they will give you a bunch of gold. So that's good to hear. So those are good changes all around. The director does have some comments here for all this stuff as well, so let's read that. With this adjustment, the reward amount at Fortress Outpost has been reduced. However, to ensure that Valby Run remains a popular hunting ground like Ambush Point and Refine Run, we have set the reward efficiency significantly higher than originally intended. We will provide numerous farming spots in the first Descendant, each with unique characteristics and usefulness to different Descendants. Instead of reverting Valby Run to its original design intent, we have adjusted it to offer similar efficiency to other high reward hunting grounds. Additionally, we have shortened the cooldowns for all outposts so that players can play them more frequently without deliberately failing, and no longer need to search for outposts with shorter cooldowns by moving around the map. We have also added gold rewards to special operations and adjusted 4 types of void fragments to be randomly dropped, allowing players to choose and utilize various hunting grounds. These issues, like the Fortress Outskirts and Valby Run, we are learning what kind of playstyle our players enjoy. The experience of sweeping through and farming monsters is of significant value in our game. Your feedback and interest are what we drive the continuous improvement of the first Descendant. We'll always listen to your feedback and improve the game. So yeah, that's really great to hear. Obviously, you know, if you've been following the game a little bit, Valby Run is this kind of new kind of farming thing that people have figured out, where you can essentially go to this outpost in the fortress, which is like kind of like one of the end game areas, or like late game areas rather, and you can basically, instead of killing the major boss enemy to finish the round, people have just been like infinitely spawning enemies and using Valby's like water trails to like kind of spawn camp enemies as they spawn, and it just like, you know, they just make a ton of gold, and you can do that. And I've seen people with like, you know, multi-millionaire, billionaire gold now out there because of this new tactic. So it sounds like they're kind of making adjustments to it, but they see people like still enjoy that aspect and being able to get that stuff, so they're kind of trying to make stuff work around that. So that's cool. We'll have to see how that works out. I hope, you know, it's always cool to see, you know, developers trying to make things work for the players who are doing things and enjoy things. But at the same time, like, it clearly was not their original intent and design. So like, you know, this could break some other things in the game. We'll just have to see how that works out and how that makes the game feel. And now they're going to have to kind of make adjustments as needed. So we'll just have to see how that works out. Besides this patch note, which again, it drops today, so it is out now on all platforms. They're giving us a little week 5 update preview as well. This is going to be the update on August 1st, which they have talked about a little bit. This is going to be introducing some new characters as well as some new weapons to go chase. So they kind of give you little brief details on these. So I'll go ahead and read those as well. Sea of Emerald Ultimate Valby. That is the next Ultimate Descendant will be Ultimate Valby. So now you're going to be doing even more farming out there, the Ultimate Valbys. So finally, the Magisters have completed the ultimate project for Valby. This ultimate equipment, called Sea of Emerald, has fulfilled Valby's long-held desire. It is a nano suit that replicates Valby's former body color and texture. Although covered in a thin layer, Valby feels like regaining a long-forgotten part of herself. Ultimate Valby's modification modules. So this is like what her ultimate mods will be able to do. Spiral Tidal Wave replaces the bullet bubble, which was difficult to aim with a projectile that flies straight. Spiral Tidal Wave attracts the impurities of gluttony, making an excellent choice for intercepting gluttony. Hydro Pressure Bomb. Instead of the plop plop, it leaps forward and deals damage to enemies around the landing area. The more enemies in the laundry state, the more powerful the damage, making a Hydro Pressure Bomb a strong finishing blow instead of diving into water. Leap joyfully forward. So that's interesting. So basically it sounds like, yeah, I know these have some weird names, but you know, if you've used Valby, Plop Pop is a move where you like, essentially she like jumps underwater and you can choose a spot where she like emerges out of the water, and usually want to do it into enemies because it leaves a big pool of water and it like stuns them and knocks them on the ground as they get put in this water. So this looks like that changes that into an entirely new move where it makes it sounds like a big water ball, like her super does, like her ultimate launcher does, and like they'll get caught in it. The more enemies caught in it, the more damage it'll do when it like hits and explodes. So that's interesting stuff. I always like these Transcendent mods and how they kind of mix up the characters. I just started finally dabbling a lot more with that stuff because I've gotten a handful of more characters. So, you know, hearing they're doing more stuff like that is always super cool. So next up we have the new Descendant, Luna, which she was like briefly in some of the story mode content, but now she's going to be the first kind of post-launch Descendant we're getting here. Let's see what they have to say about her. The mad artist Luna has returned to Albion after a long wandering performance. Luna's synthesizer gun becomes more powerful when fired in rhythm, enhancing abilities based on the performance. When Luna dances to upbeat music, allies' skill power increases, and when dancing to relaxing music, allies' mentality recovers and resource consumption decreases. Invite everyone to Luna's concert. Unfortunately for Vergus, it will be their last stage, but Luna's performance is just beginning. That's interesting. She sounds like she's straight up like a bard type character where you have like buffs and modifications where you can buff allies' skill damage, or you can buff the damage that it does towards enemies. So interesting idea for character in this kind of game where she's like straight up just like a bard playstyle. We'll have to see how that plays out. You know, again, it's only next week. I believe it's August 1st. She'll be dropping, so I'll definitely try and do some videos and content looking at her next week. Let's see what else we have. She has some also her modifications, some of her Transcendent mods. Let's see what they're about. Nimble Footsteps enhances Luna's mobility and amplifies the effective range of her performance, allowing for more effective ally support. Okay. Noise Surge transforms Luna from a supporter to a combat dealer. I guess like more like combat damage dealer is what they're saying. You know, this is translated, so it's a little challenging. But dash towards enemy in rhythm, dealing damage to nearby enemies. When the inspiration gauge is full, summons a stage to recover mental strength and shields. Provide enemies with a terrifying musical experience with a noise surge. Wow, so that literally summons like a stage for she's performing on. That sounds kind of ridiculous in a cool way, so we'll have to see how that goes. On top of that, essentially, we're getting a new boss here as well. It's called Gluttony. This is a mutated devourer type. Gluttony is a giant that indulges in void energy. It's equipped with systems to mine void energy and a cooling system to cool the heated generated during this process. To counter Gluttony, you need measures to withstand its cooling performance and the judgment to exploit its greedy temperament. Intercept Gluttony, collect new ultimate weapons and external components. So there you go, there's a new intercept boss to fight. Pretty interesting. And then we also looks like we're getting 2 new ultimate weapons. First one is called Peace Mediator. When meditation is necessary to bring peace to Ingress, the new ultimate weapon Peace Mediator is the perfect solution. This powerful hand cannon is effective even with single shots, but can unleash a burst of bullets to deliver powerful firepower under the right conditions. And then, so that's an ultimate weapon, but there's also a new ultimate module. So this is one new ultimate weapon and a new ultimate module. Got it. Let's see. It's early. I'm recording this at 7:30 in the morning, so bear with me. But anyway, new ultimate module, Arcade Consecration, provides Consecration effect, which increases defense and mentality when using skills, but decreases movement speed and attack power. It is particularly useful for Luna and Ajax and can be a good choice for players who want stable skill use. Your choices are free. Combine various modules to create your unique build. And then so we're getting some balance adjustments as well. In the week 5 update, we've decided to make balance adjustments for some defendants and ultimate weapons. First, we are adjusting Valby, Blair, and Freyna, who use AoE as their main skills. We hope to see these descendants more effectively dominate the battlefield, creating large AoE zones and leisurely watching enemies fall from the rear. Look forward to improved performance for those wide range covering descendants. That's cool to hear. I used Valby a lot, and I'm starting to level up Freyna as well. So hearing they're getting all buffs is pretty good. Having those large AoE zones, cool. Additionally, there will be improvements to ultimate weapons, enhanced critical hit chance and damage. Enduring Legacy, which is a machine gun, Secret Garden, which is a tactical rifle, and Nysastra's Devotion, the hand cannon will be improved to boast more powerful firepower with critical settings. So there you go. I haven't used too much of Enduring Legacy or Secret Garden yet. Nysastra's Devotion already feels pretty decent to me, so hearing it's gonna be even better. Cool with that. So, have to look out for those ultimate weapons next week in the balance patch. Now, they have one last thing here. It says there will also be more improvements for convenience, including in week 5, plus new cosmetics that players have been waiting for will be out. So please wait just one more week. So there you go. Pretty big, sounds like a pretty decent content update coming next week. So we'll have Ultimate Valby and Luna balance updates, some new mods and weapons to chase. So that's all coming next week. So that sounds pretty exciting. But this week had a pretty awesome patch too. Definitely excited to get in there and do some of these outposts now that they're like a little bit more convenient to do, instead of having to wait 5 minutes for either doing them or having to try and adjust the spawns by warping out in and out of different zones to try and get the right thing. It sounds like they'll be a little bit more convenient to farm for sure. But there you have it, guys, for this first Descendant video. Pretty good patch. I'm gonna be hopping in and checking out myself soon here, but that's everything that's coming today and coming next week. I'm sure there'll be more details for next week as well, so I'll go over that when that happens. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.